Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this event. I'm happy that all of us managed to come in spite of the difficulties and challenges. Thank you for coming. So my presentation is just to let us have an appreciation of this project, the project under which we are having this event, and the support that we have for different countries. Like I've been introduced, my name is Chidebere Ibe. I work for the African Development Institute. Okay, so this project, which is titled Capacity Development for Effective Management and Mitigation of Debt Distress Risks in Africa, was approved by the board of the bank on April 13, 2023. It is a project funded under the Transition Support Facility Pillar 3 window. We listened to the director of the Transition States Department earlier on, who joined us virtually. The budget of this project is about 2 million UA, or about 2.5 million US dollars. It's a small project, but with a lot of impact. It covers about 22 countries in Africa. At the time the project was approved in 2023, we had 22 transition states, but now we have about 24. So the rest two are not covered in this project. And it's supposed to be implemented over 3 years, from April 2023 to March 2026. One feature of this project is that it is bank implemented. What that means is that we don't have a firm or a contractor who is implementing the project. So the African Development Institute is the one implementing the project internally in the bank. And the advantage of this is that it is saving the bank a lot of money, saving the project a lot of money. So the money would have paid to private firms to implement the project. We are doing it by ourselves, and that's why we're able to do much more with so little. Let me just recap the countries that are covered under this project. We have Burkina Faso, Burundi, Central African Republic, Chad, Comoros, Democratic Republic of Congo, Djibouti, Eritrea, the Gambia, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Madagascar, Mali, Mozambique, Niger, Sierra Leone, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan, Togo, and Zimbabwe. These are the 22 countries, and I believe almost all of the countries are represented in today's program. What are the objectives of this project? The overall goal of this project is to enhance the capacities of transition states to manage their public debt more effectively and transparently for improved macroeconomic stability, which can support economic growth. Specifically, the objectives include to strengthen capacity for prudent, transparent, and sustainable debt management in the transition countries, and to enhance capacity for managing arrears, which is very key, And finally, to enhance the country's ability to raise sustainable debt to finance more productive investments to build back resiliency and stability in their countries. The project has 4 components. The first component is diagnostic assessments. This was undertaken in the first year of the project, and a number of countries were covered at that stage of the project. I will come to that later in the presentation. The second component is technical assistance, which is including training, embedded advisory, and provision of tools. The third component is policy dialogue. The event we are having today till the next 4 days includes the technical assistance training as well as policy dialogue. The first day of this event is policy dialogue. From second day to the final day, we are going to be doing intensive training. Then the last component of the project is project management, which relates to administrative issues, reporting, auditing, and so on and so forth. What is the delivery approach? How is the project being delivered? First, we have targeted country-specific activities. Some countries have requested for us to support them in a specific area or specific areas, and we go into those countries and provide those support. I'll come to that later. We also have regional or group activities where we aggregate a number of countries in a particular region or countries that have similar issues or problems or capacity needs. We aggregate them and have a program for them or an activity for them. Then we also have whole of beneficiaries activities like the one we are doing here, where we have all the whole 22 countries gathered together to benefit in a particular activity. And the mode of delivery include physical, like we are doing, hybrid, this one is also hybrid, or wholly virtual. So these are the ways we deliver the project. What are the expected outputs of this project? One is to have prioritized public debt management capacity needs of the transition states in debt distress, at high risk of debt distress, or moderate risk of debt distress. These were identified at the diagnostic stage of this project. And as we go along implementation, we keep identifying more and more needs and prioritizing and also providing support to our countries. The second one is to have an enhanced knowledge of public debt management and the public finance management officials in transition states. The third one is to have laws, regulations, and resource materials on public debt management which are provided to public debt management agencies in the transition states. Fourth is to have more informed policymakers on public debt management in transition states. And finally is to have knowledge products on public debt management which are disseminated to transition states. The expected outcomes of this project include to have an enhanced capacity for the design and implementation of institutional frameworks for public debt management, to have enhanced capacity for formulation and effective implementation of debt policy and medium-term debt management strategies, to have enhanced capacity for recording, monitoring, and reporting of debt statistics, to have enhanced capacity for mobilizing innovative debt financing for productivity, and finally, to have an enhanced capacity for greater resilience of the transition states to fiscal risks. I want to quickly take you through what we have done so far on this project since its inception. Like I said earlier, we started off with diagnostic assessments in selected number of countries, including the Gambia, the Comoros, Central African Republic, Djibouti, Togo, and South Sudan. Because we couldn't go to all the 22 countries, we had to identify countries that represent the entire population to be able to have this diagnostic assessment. That enabled us to identify which areas we are going to be providing support to. We have also undertaken country-specific technical assistance on capacity development in debt management and public financial management in a number of countries, including the Gambia, the Comoros, South Sudan, Togo. Togo is going to be done next week. And we have in the pipeline Liberia, Sierra Leone, Central African Republic, and Somalia for this year. I'll be getting in touch with these countries. I've started engagement with some of them already. So I'll be coming back to you for us to finalize on the modalities for the technical assistance. We have also undertaken Macroeconomic Management Academy training on macro modeling in Central African Republic and Zimbabwe. And we had the inaugural PFMA spotlight on public debt management in transition states, which was focused on emerging public debt management capacity challenges in Africa's transition states. This was held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, between June 11 and 12, 2024. We are having the second edition today and in the next 4 days. So the second edition of the PFMA Spotlight series on strengthening capacity for loan negotiation and debt restructuring in Africa's transition states is the one we are holding currently. We also had the Africa Debt Managers Initiative Network learning event, which was a knowledge sharing and training focused on developing and deepening of the domestic debt markets in Africa. This was held back-to-back with the PFMA Spotlight event in Addis Ababa in June 2024. The essence was that debt managers from transition countries can also attend that admin program. And that admin is for all the countries in Africa. So it was held back-to-back last year. We also held the Debt Management Forum for Africa, the inaugural policy dialogue on making debt work for Africa, policies, practices, and options. This was held in Abuja, Nigeria, on 16th to 17th of December 2024. The Debt Management Forum for Africa is a platform for ministers of finance and central bank governors to engage at policy level on how to resolve the debt challenge we face in the continent, and as well as the capacity development issues, and also to engage in cross-learning and peer-to-peer exchanges on issues of debt management and public financial management in Africa. And we sponsored transition states to attend that event in Abuja last year. We also sponsored participants from the transition states to attend the African Public Finance Conference 2024, which was based on emerging issues on public financial management and domestic revenue mobilization in Africa. and as well as the PFA flagship training, which was held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, in November 2024. This program, we jointly implemented this program with the PFA Secretariat and the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. It was held in Ethiopia last year. A number of you participated in that event. We also co-organized the high-level regional dialogue on public finance systems in Africa with the United Nations Development Program and the government of Benin Republic. This was held on the 25th and 26th March this year. And the theme of that dialogue event was modernizing accountability and transparency in public finance systems in Africa. A number of our members here also were participants at that event. We jointly, with the African Union, organized the African Union Conference on Debt, which was focused on Africa's public debt management agenda in restoring and safeguarding debt sustainability. This was held in Lomé, Togo, in May 12 to 14, 2025. And a number of you were sponsored to participate in that program. And of course, many of you would have participated in the first cohort or participating in the second cohort of the Public Finance Management Academy's Public Finance Management Executive Training, which we run every 18 months. Like had been said during the opening remarks and welcoming remarks, the first cohort of this training program graduated in December 2023, and we started the second cohort in June 2024, of which we have over 500 participants from 49 countries participating, and I know a number of you are also benefiting from that program. So what are the lessons that we have learned so far in implementing the program? First is that there's a challenge in implementing internally bank implemented projects like our own. The usual way projects are managed is for a firm to be procured to manage the program, and it's easy. But this time around, managing it internally meant that we have to co-fund the project. So we have to use our administrative budget to also complement the project budget to be able to implement it. So it puts pressure also on our administrative budget within the department. But the benefit is huge because it saves a lot of costs, and we're able to do more with less. Another lesson is engaging with some of the countries. Sometimes we have hard times engaging with countries, getting their confirmation to provide support to them, and also getting countries to make nominations on time for programs. Like some of you will know, even this one we are having, some didn't get their nomination until the last minute. And it puts a lot of pressure on us to make sure that everybody's taken care of. Some people's nomination came just less than 1 week before this event. So we had to also work around the clock to make sure that people are accommodated. So we would wish that countries are more proactive and also cooperative when we approach them for activities. Finally, we've observed that there's quite a large room for scaling up capacity development on public finance management and public debt management in transition states. A number of countries are coming forward to us to support them. And from what we have done also, we see a lot of room for improvement. So we are taking note of that and seeking ways to make sure that we scale up what we are doing. Okay, so going forward, we have planned targeted technical assistance support to countries that have demanded support. A number of the countries that I mentioned earlier that we provided technical assistance to, we are on demand. So if you need support, please come forward and let us know officially so that we can take it into consideration in our planning. Also, we want to take forward the outcomes of this dialogue and learning event, including identifying new requests that may come out of this. By the time we finish this event, there may be follow-up activities that we might have to undertake to further the capacity development in this particular area. Also, we are looking at group training activities for countries in debt distress, at high risk of debt distress, and moderate risk of debt distress. You know, putting these countries together and having an event for them, targeted event for this group of countries. We have done one before, the PFMA conference that we did last year. We selected countries that were at high risk of debt distress and that were at debt distress for that conference because they were more in need. We're also looking at collaboration with other bank departments and international development partners and multilateral development banks for joint activities and shared resources for our transition states. Already that's happening, and we want to intensify that. Indeed, the work we do in the African Development Institute and Public Finance Management Academy is based on partnerships. We have over 20 institutions, both regional institutions and international institutions that we collaborate with. LSF is here partnering with us on this one, which is their core area of competence. Thank you, Olivier. And we are planning massive open online courses on public finance management and macroeconomic policy management from next year. The TSF staff and officials can take advantage of this self-paced learning. We are rolling out MOOCs because we know that we can't reach everybody at the same time. Some people don't have time to attend events, so they will rather learn at their own pace. So the MOOCs will help people wherever they are. They can learn at their own paces. If they complete the programs, they get certified like any other person who has attended the structured training. In summary, despite the limited budget for the project, we are ensuring that we provide impactful and catalytic interventions to improve debt management in the beneficiary countries. I have to say that I'm quite proud of what we have done so far in this project. In spite of a very small budget, some of you have projects that are over 5 million, 10 million, 20 million or so for one country. But we are using just 2 million UA to do a lot for almost 22 countries. So I'm quite proud of that. And I want to thank my colleagues who are supporting on this project. Also, the management and staff of the bank are committed to the improvement of governance, public finance, and debt management capacity in transition state. This goes without saying. That's what we are here for, and that is what we are committed to be doing. So countries with specific capacity development needs are welcome to make their requests, and we will do our best to support them as far as our resources can allow. And also, like I said earlier, we have huge untapped potentials that lie within the transition states, and together we can harness these potentials for Africa's development and greatness. Thank you very much for your attention. And I wish you a successful learning event. Thank you.